confessing his sins. I need some good news. Sitting here sipping on cold truth. Nobody knows what I'm going through, but the devil wouldn't walk in my shoes. Wish someone told me living this life would be lonely. Trying to get away from the old me. Still stuck singing these blues. All I really need is a little good news. Love keeps knocking, but I just stay home. I ain't picking no flowers for the seeds that I'm sown. They say it gets darker when you're coming on door. Still looking for the right at the end of my road. At the end of my road, I need some good news. Sitting here sipping on cold truth. Nobody knows what I'm going through, but the devil wouldn't walk in my shoes. Wish someone told me living this life would be lonely. Trying to get away from the old me. Still stuck singing these blues. All I really need is a little good news. It's a little good news. I need some good news. Sitting here sipping on cold truth. Nobody knows what I'm going through, but the devil wouldn't walk in my shoes. Wish someone told me living this life would be lonely. Trying to get away from the old me. Still stuck singing these blues. All I really need is a little good news. All I really need is a little. Something bring me back to the middle. All I really need is a little good news.
Say less, 'cause you already got me, baby. Say less, talking's only slowing us down. Do you believe in love at first sight? Should I walk over again? I don't know if I should She said, baby, what you talking about? Let's do something else with that. That's what she said. She said, say less, 'cause you already got me, baby. Say less, talking's only slowing us down. Say less.
Check. I'm a gentleman, baby, and a dog with a bite. I just wanna nibble on your night. So sentimental when I step in the middle, when I do a little dance to the turn stay light. So jump in a moment. Margella got me feeling iconic. And if you can't groove, she don't want it. Great sex, say
She
less.
said, baby, what you talking about? Let's do something else with that. That's what she said. She said, say less, 'cause you already got me, baby. Say less, talking's only slowing us down. Say less.
The moment you walking, you let your hips do the talking. You leaving me no options. Say less, say less. Stop the room when you walking. You let your hips do the talking.
status, Raheem, I go get it tatted, yeah. Say the magic, what? Pretty little thing getting ratchet, yeah. Told me that I couldn't, oops, I did it again. I don't like you, I don't wanna pretend. If he ain't spending money, I just go with the friend. If you can give me dollars, give me pound, give me in. Purple, black, made back, yeah, that's me. Up, that ain't free. Ain't dead to me, R.I.P. That yo, she ain't me. Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want from me. Man, what these want from me? If I wanna test me, I ace it. I don't wait for nobody, I'm impatient. Trip off who? I'm on vacation. I pop when I do it, I'm flagrant. Never is out bake. Please don't compare me to that's basic. The money only thing I'm chasing. Body snatch, you know I'm Debbie caking. Men like to talk it, I hate it. Ain't hindered, I erase it. New money, many outdated. If he say he don't love me, that's hatred. Call me Miss, pull up in the latest. Double R truck, backseat, 2 spaces. Cartier braces, make faces. 5,500 when I pay for my laces. Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want from me. Man, what these want from me? Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want from me. Man, what these want from me?
Tonight in New Jersey, it's the NFC Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. It's the New York Giants taking on the Los Angeles Rams.
It's the NFL playoffs on EA Sports. No bigger stage than this one. Sold out MetLife Stadium, located just outside of New York City. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest, you'll take the week off, get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what a great game that was to watch last week, because he put on a show in the wild card round with 5 touchdown passes. So if you ever want to see what a hot quarterback looks like, watch that tape. Let's see if that same hot quarterback shows up in this one.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. First run now for Kyren Williams. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. A long way to go in this one. I'm sure that's not the only score we'll see today, but to jump out like that, very good.
Yeah, everyone wants to set the pace. You know, in a game like this, you want people chasing you. You don't want to be the team chasing them. That's exactly what they did.
The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And for them, maybe a little carryover from last week's game. They got the win on the road in the wild card round, on the road here again in the divisional round, but they're hanging tough.
Hey, cue a little music, right? A little on the road again. I mean, this has been kind of the mantra they're under right now, and they can't change it. The season dictated what would happen with them, right? They had to go. Teams get really comfortable with that. Not only the idea of going on the road and shocking the world, but just, hey, it's just us. We don't have to worry about outside distractions. It's just us. Let's go play.
Becomes that us against the world mentality, doesn't it?
And while it may be overplayed, you know, in the media, it's real when it comes time to play ball.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw. Hunter Henry brings it in.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. No catches for him in the wild card win last week, but he's got a first quarter grab here. On the jet sweep, this is Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Here's 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at about the 14. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
And he and his team, they were the beneficiaries of a first-round bye earned by a tremendous regular season. He'd been a little bit nicked up, so he could use the rest, and I'm sure his teammates felt the exact same way. But now it'll be interesting to watch their first few drives in this one, because sometimes getting the rest is great, but sometimes you accumulate a little bit of rust as well. Maybe they come out flat, and they can't afford that in the postseason.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now a first carry for their fullback. And some space to move right away as he's all the way up to the 30. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Usually the big fella's a blocker, a lead back, but he gets the ball on first down. What a surprise for everyone. And as a former safety, if he breaks into the secondary and you see him coming, you just know that's a whole lot of man you've got to deal with now.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a run. Here's the first-round pick from April's draft. That's some good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And they'll get this down to the 10. 15 yards on the play, first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete. So the Giants now are going to turn it over to their field goal unit. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. This is taken at the 23. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. 59 yards. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Now the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our score as they kick this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Well, I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Looking to throw. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Returnable here from the 38. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Down to about the 45.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 6.
19 light. Mike 14. Mike 14. Strip the ball. Strip that ball. 14's the Mike. 14's the Mike.
He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll set up a throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Being chased out left. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
I don't think that run was anything that was designed, but when his reads were blanketed as he went through his progressions, all that was left was for him to run and try and pick it up himself.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Mike 14. Mike 14.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. Oh, some strong running. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st.
And when you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Touchdown! A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Giants continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So that drive 7 plays in length, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll look to throw here. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He'll look to set up his blockers. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
On play action, they'll throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
Hey, watch the slant.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Rams ready to go on offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. There he goes, right side. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. You talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. From the 22 now, here's a 2nd and 7. Again, it's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And they will take over 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion, Sets up a manageable second down.
Two yards to go, second down.
We got three, fellas, we got three.
Here's a give up the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
55 yards rushing for him now as he has been strong here in the first half of this divisional round matchup.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
14's the mic, 14's the mic.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. It's a gain of 35.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Giants continue to pull away here in this first half.
Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And no, see if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On second down, it's Parks, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now back to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Giants going to take over again on offense.
And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40.
61 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Now a 2nd and 2.
He'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7.
And the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
They'll try to run this one in. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. 3 buzz. Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike. Watch the run. Watch the run.
They'll set up to throw. Forced out to his left. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Giants have got it on cruise control.
They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And now a carry here for their fullback. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Here's A.J. Cole now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fights through him, runs through the contact. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 7 yards there and a 1st down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
No, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Rams are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness, it's been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that. but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Here's 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working.
And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big-time play there for the G-Men. 44 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27. They'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Giants. A great play there. 27 yards. And the Giants are pouring it on.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. Now for the point after. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Here we go. Here we go. Check back 40. Check back 40.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Don't let him breathe. Play that tight D. Don't let him breathe, defense. Mike's 40.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for L.A. Take it in at the 22. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. Possession switching back to the New York Giants. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 85 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he is trying to will his guys to the championship round next weekend.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or do they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
2nd and 4. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 36 yards on the play.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 31. A handoff as they run the counter play. And room there to work it inside the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. He'll drop to throw.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
And that's a great run, and this is where you've got a running back who feels like he needs to take over this football game. You're in the second half, you've got the lead, you're looking at moving on to the conference championship, and he's got to be saying, just keep giving me the ball, and I'll get us home.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
2nd and goal from the 1.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
They're going to look to throw. Touchdown! A great effort there. He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Giants just continue to roll. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back to throw here.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted.
And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point, they've delivered.
Point after here coming up. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Johnson with a completion over the middle. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Well, there was a trust factor in that call, turning and handing it to the big man in the backfield, trying to pick up the first down. But how about the defense? They were ready for him, and they were able to stop him.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for L.A. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Pulled in at the 24.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Big series right here, so we got to step it up.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It's a gain of 35.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
That guy's going to want the football a whole lot more. I'd hate to be the offensive coordinator now because all he's going to say is, how come I'm not touching it more? Do you see me out there moving around, wiggling, and making it happen? Give me the ball, coach.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Powerful running. Touchdown, Giants. It's the fullback, saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game.
And the Giants get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Extra point attempt to come here. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So that drive, 4 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
And the Rams getting set to go now.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number, it's just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Mike 40, check, he's coming.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Check back 40. Check back 40. Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
An absolutely dominating series from that pass rush to record the safety. 3 sacks in a row shouldn't be possible against an NFL offensive line. But there they are, dropping him on 3 straight reps, the last of which came in the end zone for 2 points.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. That's taken on the 25.
New York ready to go again offensively. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And that is incomplete. Nearly intercepted. The free safety couldn't quite get his hands around it, and it brings up 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. He'll rifle this one deep right side, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Rams will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
Remember, they had the safety go against them the last time they had it. Fortunately, their defense just forced the punt, so they'll try again as they start 1st and 10.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
2nd and 9 now. Incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, and it's 3rd down.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for L.A. That's pulled in at the 32. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. New York set to take the field. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Watch that in. Watch that in. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there, and he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
14's the mic. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he's brought down. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14. One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll try and run with their fullback. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
There's a lot of good on that play when we see the big fella take it and rumble into the secondary. But how about the big part of it? Taking care of the football. He doesn't carry it very often, but when he does, he's got to make sure that he doesn't get it popped free. Unlike Mike Tolbert in Super Bowl 50, carrying the ball popped free, turnover, and it hurt his team.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
53's the mic.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. A nice display of power, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Giants are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Giants are moving closer to a date now in the NFC Championship game as they're able to extend this fourth quarter lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. And the LA offense ready for this next possession. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, complete. That's Henry. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now, but as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front 7 today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause. Point after try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
40's the line. Squeeze. Yeah. You don't want none. Mike's.
A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for L.A.
fielded at the 20. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And now out come the Giants. And they have made this look easy. I mean, there's not supposed to be anything easy about the NFL playoffs, but this lead, yes, they're at home, but this has been impressive.
And we hear all the time when upsets happen, teams go on the road, that maybe home field advantage isn't all it's cracked up to be. But you and I both know the reality is teams really fight hard to get it. Why? You don't ever have to change routine. Everything's familiar going into the game. It makes things easier, and that has paid off for them in a big way in this contest.
Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On second down, here's a run with Singletary. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
On first down, they stick with Singletary. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. Second down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now this throw caught left side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
And this has been the story all night long. They just came out firing and have not backed off, even with the big fourth quarter lead. Here's another completion for big yardage.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or two.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. Touchdown!
A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Giants continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th.
As that lead just swells and swells. Look, this has been dominance in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams.
So don't we have to give a lot of credit, not just to what we've seen today, but the preparation in advance, coaching staff, commitment by the players to the game plan, and being ready to go in this one? You're exactly right. Clean sweep. And, boy, they're going to celebrate this one after it's over.
And on the other side, this is the game film you just flush and never go back and review. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard.
Switch the mic right here. Go, Mike 40, Mike 40. Drop deep, drop deep.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one a first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Back to throw again. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Again, he'll drop to throw.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at the 18.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Let's go. Hey, we got
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down. They work now on 2nd and 9. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And this will be a Giants 1st down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
You say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle, feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Now a 2nd and 6. On the counter, this is Singletary. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. Now the Giants season will continue at least another week as we say so long, everybody. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from East Rutherford.
he might go get it tatted, yeah. Say the magic, what? Pretty little thing getting ratchet, yeah. Told me that I couldn't, oops, I did it again. I don't like you, I don't wanna pretend. If he ain't spending money, I just go with the friend. If you can give me dollars, give me pound, give me in. Purple, black, made back, yeah, that's me. That ain't free. Ain't dead to me, R.I.P. That yo, she ain't me. Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want from me. Tell me what you want from me. Man, what these want from me? If I wanna test me, I ace it. I don't wait for nobody, I'm impatient. Trip off who?